Warriors back at it after a very busy weekend. Please subscribe. Make sure you hit the little like bell. Make sure you, well, if you want to become a member, and I think everybody should for $2.99 a month. I have no shame about it. It is less than a cup of coffee, and I think you know what I'm talking about, because the issues we talk about on the Warriors are far too important, and most media does not cover really what we cover. So, March is Women's History Month. I just got back from a trip to Philadelphia. I went to the Constitution Center. I went to Independence Hall. I went all over to absorb and talk and just with a group of people and talk about women's issues. 2025. Why is it so hard? I'm very serious about this. Why is it so hard in the United States today? Again, 2025. To protect women and girls, elevate women and girls. Women's History Month, we are celebrating those women in our country that made tremendous strides, gave us victories, gave us all kinds of things, and that should be celebrated day in and day out. But at the same time, I can't help but think, as we're celebrating Women's History Month, what kind of history are we leaving in the future about women and girls today, when we have so many forms of exploitation? We have so much abuse going on. We have to fight so hard for legislation to protect, whether it is trafficking, whether it is, you could say sex, you could say labor, you can say online exploitation. Why is it so hard to protect? Why do we have to fight? Why is this? This is a bipartisan issue. It belongs to no political party. This is something everybody should be able to get on board with. Protecting girls and women's sports, just protecting girls and elevating those. And there are plenty of them, but you're not hearing about them, that excel in mathematics and science and creativity and the arts. And the focus should be put on all of them over and over and over again to show our girls and young women this is success. This is what matters. This is what we're leaving for future girls and women. So as we celebrate March, and I walked around our Constitution Center, and everything was about we the people, meaning you, meaning me, we the people. What about we the people for girls and women? What about we the people? Because you know what? Girls and women today, in my opinion, and there are a lot of studies that'll back me up on this one, are in a worse position in our country than ever before. Why is that? With so many women and groups and organizations and government and this and that talking about it, why are we fighting so hard? Why, for instance, in New York State, do we want to allow legalized brothels, legalized pimping, legalized trafficking? Surely exploitation. It doesn't take, I'll just use this, a rocket scientist to figure out that is exploitation. When we have studies that say 91 to 97% of those in the sex trade are forced, and that is a definition of trafficking, of slavery, the enslavement of people, force, fraud, coercion. Hearing this constantly. So why all these events are going on in New York City, where I live, the home of the UN, we'll leave that for another time, and around the country in places like Washington and Philadelphia, I can't help but think, what kind of future, what kind of history will be in the books, so to speak, about girls and women, even in 5 years? What are we doing? Protect women and girls. Community creates change is our hashtag. Let us honor that. Let us research. March is Women's History Month. Let us elevate those doing great work and have left a legacy. And let us also protect our women and girls now and let them know they are our future history. It has to be done, and I don't know why it's so hard. So join me, lynswarriors.org, talk about these issues, ask questions, and you know what? Each and every day when you wake up, go out and be a warrior.